What's your take overall on Italian banks and the Italian GDP? Should we worry about it, like Mr. Pierre Moscovici tells us, or should markets remain cool about it?
Well, there are some positive about Italy, is that the market constraints and the EU are going to force them to keep the budget deficit for next year around the current level as a share of GDP. That's the positive, and the Euro membership is not on the table, so they've been controlled and contained by market discipline. However, spreads on Italian debt are still 250 basis points, first of all. The economy is slowing down very sharply. And even if they want to maintain the deficit around 2% of GDP, it's going to be problematic because they want to spend more and cut taxes by 1%. They don't know how they're going to finance it. They might fudge it by making estimates about growth for next year too high, 1.6, when market estimates are more like 0.8. And many of their policies are leading to a reduction of potential growth rather than an increase of potential growth, reversing the reform of pension, restricting the labor market flexibility, and so on and so on. So actual growth is falling, potential growth is falling, real rates are higher even before the ECB has ended up QE, and a loosening of the primary balance implies that it's going to be very hard for them to stabilize the debt ratio and reduce it. It might go higher, and therefore Italy is still on a knife edge situation from an economic point of view. And there is still political risk. Salvini is popular, and after the budget law is passed, he might go to election. And that's going to create more uncertainty. So in the short run, I don't think that the spreads are going to widen. Things are going to stabilize given the fiscal commitment. But Italy is facing a number of economic, fiscal, and financial challenges over the next couple of years.
I want to explain this distinction. Mariana Mazzucato and Kenneth Rogoff sat right where you're sitting 5 or 6 days ago. And sometimes the body language, Jason, bring it in here. The body language we see on camera, like if I'm like this, I'm like really bored, and then you sit up straight and listen. No, Ken Rogoff sat up straight when the topic was Italy. Why is a guy like Ken Rogoff totally focused on Italy?
Well, it's not just Ken Rogoff, it's also the markets. You know, when a couple of weeks ago, Salvini and Di Maio said we're going to increase the deficit from 2 to 3. The spread suddenly overnight went from 250 to over 300, and they flip-flop in 24 hours. And they decided then to say, no, we're going to stick to the EU rules. And therefore,
is it the heritage of Italy? Is it the adjacency of Italy? On the Bloomberg screen, it's a G7 country. Why the focus on Italy?
Well, Italy has now become, for the first time, a country run by populists. Italian debt is 135% of GDP and is the largest debt in absolute terms after US and Japan in the world economy. Greece could be bailed out by a Troika program, was after all only 200 billion euro public debt problem. Italy is 2.3 trillion public debt problem. So Italy is too big to fail, but also too big to be saved. There is no Troika program that could backstop Italy if Italy goes in the wrong direction. Therefore, Italy is systemic for Italy, for the Eurozone. If Italy were to leave, there will be a systemic shock to the Eurozone, and it could be a threat to the global economy. That's why people are interested in Italy.